everybody, and welcome to Orchard Students Live. I'm so glad that you guys have decided to hang out with us tonight. We have an awesome night planned for you guys. My name is Joe. I'm the student ministry director here at Orchard Students. We have a lot of fun stuff planned for you tonight. But first off, if this is your first time hanging out with us, your first time watching our videos, or your first time ever being around anything Orchard Student Ministry, we want to know. So, if you're new here, make sure you text the number on the screen. Just say, I'm new, okay? Because we want to get you a free swag box, a box of swag. This has a t-shirt and some other cool stuff in it. So make sure if this is your first time ever hanging out with us, you let us know in the comments and text us on that number so that way we can reach out to you so we can get you one of those swag boxes. So tonight, we're going to have a lot of fun. We are in week 2 of our series Love Hate, and our volunteer Vanjie is bringing the message tonight. She did an awesome job and has a great message for you guys tonight. We also have a game where you can win some prizes. We're giving away 2 prizes tonight, and just giving you a heads up, it involves masks. Okay, so you got to be ready to play the game with masks. It's going to be good. I'm super excited about it. We also have an awesome song of worship from Fabio, so get ready for that. But right now, the first thing we're going to do is dive in to game time.
Yo, what up, guys? Welcome to Orchard Students Game Time. My name is Sawyer. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Like Joe said, we have an awesome game plan that involves these face masks. So this is my ninja mask. It's pretty cool. But yeah, so tonight we're going to play a game called What's Behind the Mask. And in this game, we're going to show a picture of a celebrity with a mask on. And it is your job, and out there in the audience, to guess what they're doing behind the mask, what kind of face they're making. So we're gonna have 4 rounds, and there's gonna be 2 warm-up rounds and then 2 real rounds. We have 2 prizes for the real rounds. And remember, the first person to either comment or text in at the number below will get that prize. So we have 2 warm-up rounds to start, and we'll get it going right now. So what's that first image? What is the status of Chris Pratt's mouth behind this mask? We either have A, closed, B, open, or C, open with tongue out. Now, Chris Pratt's a really cool guy, right? Like, his best role of all in Hollywood is Guardians of the Galaxy. My favorite. He's so funny. He's a good guy. So, there's a lot of Chris's out there, but Chris Pratt's probably my favorite. He's a pretty cool guy. Any guesses yet? No? Okay, we'll do a warm-up round. So this first one is A, closed. So you guys see how it's played. We'll show you the answer once we get some guesses. And that's a pretty sweet scout he's got going on there. I want to try to master that, you know. So we got one more round for you guys. This next picture is pretty sweet. Okay, which Chris is behind this mask? Remember, this is just warm-up, so you can get more comfortable with the situation. All right, we're A, Evans, B, Chris Hemsworth, or C, Chris Pine. There's a lot of Chris's out there. I might change my name to Chris just to be an actor. It'd be kind of cool, right? I could do it. All right. So this next answer for the warm-up round is going to be C, Pine. All right, so you guys get the gist of the game. We're going to go live now, go real. So the first person to guess the right answer in these images will get this awesome prize. And we will go ahead and remember, comment in or text the number below. And we'll go ahead and get started. So this next image is going to be Kanye West, right? Now the question is, what will we find Kanye doing behind this mask? So remember, when you're texting in the answer, make sure to put the full answer in there, not just the letter. So Kanye West, right, is a cool guy. What is he usually doing? He's kind of a bad person, you know, cool guy, but kind of bad, you know. So wait, we got A, snarling, B, straight-faced, or C, smiling. Any guesses out there? We're gonna keep going. We gotta keep going. Take a guess, somebody out there. He's a cool guy, right? He's usually doing something with his face. I don't know if he might never be smiling. I don't know. He did a worship thing not too long ago. He switched his whole mantra to from rap to worship, and that was pretty cool. All Jesus about. It's pretty sweet. Tristan Diaz, woo! Nice work, Tristan. We got a sweet prize coming to you. Make sure to text us. Yep, it is correct. B, straight-faced. That is awesome. All right, we got one more live one for you guys, one more real one, and one more great prize. Let's see the next image. Lady Gaga. Okay, what will we find Lady Gaga doing behind the mask? We got A, puckering, B, gasping, or C, smirking. Lady Gaga, for me personally, is just kind of weird. She's a great musician, but you know, there was a few years ago that she wore a meat dress. It's kind of an odd thing. I don't know how I feel about that one. And you know, she has some, again, great music, great movies she's been in, but yeah, she's kind of a strange person. She, you know, again, great voice. With a name like Gaga, what do you expect, right? A meat dress. She's wearing also like a hamburger dress, I think, at one point in her career. It's kind of strange. So, yeah, Lady Gaga. What else? The song Poker Face. That's a good song, right? You guys like that one? Kind of wish. What's another one? I Was Born This Way. That's a kind of a cool song. Good beat to it. Lady Gaga. Let's see what else you got. Oh, the Heart Rockets. The Heart Rockets has the right answer, and it is, woo! Check it out here, puckering. Nice job, the Heart Rockets, whoever that is, Hannah, right? That is awesome. Congratulations, guys. Thanks so much for participating tonight. And again, we're going to have a great night. We have a worship set coming up with Fabio, so check this out and enjoy it. Thanks so much.
Stop the Lord Almighty? Who can 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 stop the Lord?
Hey, Orchard students, thanks for joining us today. I'm super excited for this message. So we're gonna open it up with a little conversation that we've been doing. So this series that we're going through is called Love, Hate. And this week, Vanjie is doing our message for us. But today, for me, right now, I have Sawyer. He's one of our small group leaders. And this is Allie, one of our students. She is a freshman, correct, at Brighton High School. So it is a fun deal. I used to go to Brighton, so I feel like there's an instant connection there that I, dearly miss. So I'm super excited for you guys to be here today. So I want to start off with a story time real quick. We all like embarrassing stories. It's maybe a little bit harder when it's your own personal, embarrassing story. But so one time, I was about to go speak to some students at a youth group, and I was super nervous, and I was oh man, everything was rushing through my mind. What was I gonna say? How was I gonna come out? So I was thinking about all these different things and kind of how I looked, but not really. It was more mental. And I was all right, what do I say next? What do I do when I get up there? How do I greet them? But doing that, I forgot the most important thing when going on a stage in front of a bunch of students, which is, where's your zipper? And my zipper was down. That I didn't know about. And then all of a sudden, right as I'm about to go up, it was countdown's 5 seconds. My buddy grabs my arm and he's hold up. And I was what? And he's just your zipper's down. I was relieved, but also still anxious within myself. I was oh, are you kidding me? But why I tell this story is because we're gonna lead into this conversation today of what does it look like to come and confront people within love, or what's the best way of doing it. So that's why I want to ask you guys and get your input on what do you think is the best way or a good way of confronting someone about an issue. So it could be about their fly being down, or maybe it's a little bit more serious. Maybe it's your friends being rude, whatever like that. I don't know. Out of your guys' experience, what do you see is the best way to confront people? So Sawyer, I'm going to start with you.
So at my job, a good portion of my time is spent, educating people who have made mistakes, or people who work in retail or who are tellers at a bank, to kind of correct them on their errors. And whenever I have to call somebody out, or I notice somebody missed their signature, or they didn't get everything we needed, I try to give an opportunity to educate them, to talk to them realistically real quick and just say, hey, is this something you need help with? Is this something that you might not know all about, or you just need something clarified? So I try to come at it from an educational approach, and it kind of helps clear the air a little bit and not focus so much on their errors or on their mistakes, but helps them move past it and maybe get better as their time goes on, instead of focusing on the negativity. So educating, coming out from a point of that, is always a bit more successful and always a bit more helpful for me to do, to kind of keep the mood really relaxed.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
I like that. Sweet. So more, the education point. I really like that. That's sometimes difficult when, you just want to point out the wrong, but in your case, you're trying to educate them and try to make them better in that case. So I really like that. Allie, what about you? As a student, that's, I think, definitely, we're talking a bunch of middle schoolers and high schoolers. What do you think within that of the question of what's the best way to confront people?
I really like what Sawyer said, saying not making them feel bad, but helping them learn from it. I also it really depends on the situation. If it's a really tough conversation, you can go in and say this is tough to talk about, it's kind of awkward, it's not the most comfortable thing to talk about, but we need to. And definitely at school, if you're talking to one of your friends at school, don't do it in front of a big group. Don't call them out and try to cause drama. Just try to keep it one-on-one, and then they're oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was doing that. But if it's not as serious and you just need to talk to them, you kind of go right in. You kind of just start talking and you just get it over with, because you'll definitely feel a lot better afterwards than you will going in. You'll be nervous, but once you get it done, you'll feel so much better.
That's cool. I really like what you said on that whole nervousness part, because I think within those, especially those tougher times of something that's serious that we need to tell someone about, sometimes within ourselves we're how do I bring this up to them? What's the best way? Because we don't always understand and know what we have to say, or what's the best words to choose. So there's that side of the spectrum of sometimes we even run away from it because we don't know what to say, right? But then there's the other side, you even also mentioned, some people just go head right in. Sometimes that's okay, and but sometimes it depends how you're going at it, right? There's the headstrong mentality of like, I'm just going to tell them, I don't care what their feelings are hurt, whatever it looks like, I'm just going to tell them. And so there's like, do we find a happy middle? What does that look like? And so that's what Vanjie is telling us today, and her message that she has prepared for us. What she's going to be doing is basically leading us through what's the best way, that question of how do we confront people in the best way. And again, this is our Love-Hate series, and so super excited about this message. Thank you, Vanjie, again. So hope you guys enjoy this message by Vanjie and learn something. Thanks. Bye.
Hey guys, welcome back. We are in week 2 of our Love-Hate series. Last week we talked about how we should be all about love, and who wouldn't want to have a reputation for loving on others, right? But I think in this day and age, it's far too easy to want to appear tough, and sometimes it's trendy to be hating on others. But that's not what we as Christians are called to do, right? We're called to love on each other. And so that's what we're going to talk about a little bit today. What would you do in a situation where, let's say you have a friend or a close family member who is doing something that is just completely wrong or dangerous or dumb, or they're just kind of making bad decisions, and you're watching this happen? Do you just avoid them and not say anything? I know a lot of times people will say, well, you got to be careful to try to give advice to your friends about, their wrongdoings, because you don't want to come off as judgmental. And I think that's true. But at the same time, is it really showing them love if you're just going to let them to continue to go down a path that can be, pretty destructive for them in their lives and be hurtful even? So this is something that Paul talks about a little bit. Galatians 6:1, he says, "Dear brothers and sisters, if another believer is overcome by some sin, you who are godly should gently and humbly help that person back onto the right path. But be careful not to fall into the same temptation yourself." So in other words, he's saying that you and I should go a little bit further than just, having the conversation and just saying, hey, you know what, I think what you're doing or these choices that you're making are wrong. He's kind of challenging us to take it a step further and help them to get right back on the right path. And that's more than just having a conversation with them. So let's look at it this way. In the fitness world, when you're working out, you have this person called a spotter. So just to have a visual, just imagine Joe's laying on a weight bench and he's, lifting up the bar with whatever it is that he can do, lift, 10 pounds, 11, 12, I don't know. But Ashley, being the good wife that she is, she'll be standing behind him, kind of, holding the bar a little bit in case he can't fully lift all 13 of those pounds, right? But the point is that she's there to help him and lift that weight and carry that burden with him if he starts to struggle. She's not just off on the sidelines saying, buck up, man, you got to do it, like, figure it out, harness the strength within you. She's coming over, she's right there, she's right behind him, and she's lifting that bar with him. And that's what Paul's talking about. He's talking about us not just speaking words of encouragement and help when somebody's going down the wrong path, but also, how can you be there for them in a more, actionable way, I guess you could say. So the point is according to Paul, with humility and gentleness, you and I can help people who are struggling with making poor decisions and get back on the right path. Paul talks about this in Galatians 6:2 as he says, share each other's burdens, and in this way obey the law of Christ. Paul, he really deeply cared about the people of Galatia, which is who he was writing to, which is actually modern-day Turkey. He knew that the most loving thing to do isn't always the easiest thing to do, but we owe it to each other to speak up. In other words, Jesus' followers must do more than just speak up and point out what somebody's doing wrong, we also want to make sure that we're being kind, helpful, and encouraging in showing people that we want to help them out of love. So just remember that hard conversations, they're not going to be easy, right? But if you avoid it altogether, then you're not really showing them love either, because you're just allowing them to continue to go down that wrong path. So, the one thing you just kind of always want to think of when you're faced with a situation like this is, am I showing love in how I'm treating this person? So what does it look like to want to help somebody and show them love at the same time? One way you can look at it is to apply a love filter. A love filter is something, well, we all know what filters are, right? You put a filter on when you're on Snapchat or on Instagram, and no matter where the camera is pointed or if you're taking a selfie, it looks different, right, than the original picture. It's enhanced, it's a lot of times prettier, it's better looking. And so that's what we're talking about when we say apply a love filter. So what exactly should a filter of love be applied to? The first one would be to let love be a filter for your involvement. This is kind of like a gut check, and if you're not sure of whether you should get involved or not, it's definitely such a great idea to reach out to like your small group leader or a pastor, your parents, or any other adult that's a Christian and that can kind of advise you on whether or not you should get involved and how you can help that person. The second filter, love filter that you can use is a filter on your words. And this one's really important because it's not just important what you say to that friend or family member, it's extremely important to understand how you're saying it, right? Because your words said differently can have a much different impact than, if they're being said with like judgment or condemnation or even a little bit of like scolding and attitude. They're not going to receive that well. So use a filter, a love filter when dealing with your words with that person and how you speak to them. And then the last one is going to be using a love filter for your actions and your reactions. So this is going to be, what steps are you going to take to help them get back on track with God? And that may be, making yourself more available with your phone so that if they need a call and vent, they know that you're available to talk to them. It could even be that, you're available to come pick them up if they find themselves at a party that they shouldn't be at. It could also be getting somebody else involved, a parent or a teacher, if you feel like the problem is beyond your help, because we're limited to what we can do as friends sometimes. And sometimes, we need to get other people involved. But the key thing you want to ask yourself is, how would I want to be helped if I was in that situation? We just want to remember to let love be our filter, and we'll wind up sharing the burdens with those that we love. If we do that, just imagine how our schools and friendships and families would be different if more people were filtering their involvement, their words, and their actions through love. So let's be people who let love be our filter so that we can help those that we love stay headed in the best direction for their lives.
Hey, thank you so much for that message, Vanjie. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you really took away the fact that we don't need to be hateful to people when we talk to them, but instead that we need to try and build them up when we're trying to help them get through something tough, and that we need to be building others up and doing it in a loving way so that we can be known as people who are all about love and not people who are all about hate. We have one more week of this series, and I'm super excited about it. But I want to take a moment and just make sure that for some of you that all that made sense of like being a Christ follower and treating each other with love. But for some of you watching it, it might not have made sense. It hasn't really clicked for you that being a Jesus follower means something different. Like you are someone different and your life looks different. And so what I like to do in this moment now is take an opportunity to invite you to make the best decision ever, and that is to say yes to Jesus, to start a relationship with Jesus, because that's the best decision we can ever make, and that will change our lives forever. So if you've thought about being a Christ follower, if you've thought about about giving your life to Jesus, you can do something as super simple as this. You can just pray to him, because that's just the way we talk to God. That's how we communicate with him. And it's a prayer is something simple like this. You can say, Jesus, I realize that I'm a sinner and that I have done wrong, and that separates me from you. I believe in what you did on the cross and how it makes a way for me to have a relationship with you and makes me right with God. I confess my sins to you. Jesus, I need you. I'm saying yes to you. Yes, be my Savior, and yes, be my Lord. And if you prayed something like that tonight, if you gave your life to Jesus, we want to know about it. So if you said yes to Jesus, please text our number that we have on the screen and just tell us that I said yes to Jesus tonight, because we would love to follow up with you and have a conversation with you and help you take your next steps. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. I'm so glad that you guys decided to watch our live video. Just a couple updates, man. Right after this, you should have, hopefully, if you were in a small group, you should have gotten an email from a small group leader to be a part of our small groups. If you have not, if you're not part of a small group yet, you can text that number and let us know that you want to be put in a small group, and we can let you know what small group that you would be a part of. Also, if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, because that's where we post our videos, and that's the best way for you to stay up to date. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell, because we want you to get notified when we go live, when we premiere videos, when we post videos, and when we do new stuff on our YouTube channel. Also, if you haven't yet, make sure you share us with your friends. We want other students just like you to know all about Orchard Student Ministry and get to know Jesus through all the things that we are doing. So if you haven't yet, man, just tell your friends. Check out youtube.com/Orchard Student Ministry. That's an awesome way to stay up to date with what we're doing. So guys, I hope you have a great night. Thank you for hanging out with us, and we will see you next time.